Well, Katie, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're so excited. And since it's now officially the holiday season, you get to be our inauguration into the Christmas season. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's my first time, so I'm excited.
Well, we're excited to have you. So, to get us started, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started writing?
Oh, okay. It was so long ago. I'm trying to think. It was back in 2005, 2006, I think. Yeah, because I hadn't been married very long. I read a book, and now that you've asked me about it, I cannot remember the
Of
title
course,
of
I
the
put you
book.
on the spot.
No, and I know, I feel like I should have been more prepared. It's the same author, Lauren Weisberger, I think, the one who wrote The Devil Wears Prada. I
Hmm.
read another one of her books, not the big one, which I loved, The Devil Wears Prada. And at the end of the book, the main character had like this epiphany and was just like, I'm gonna be a writer. Like she went through all this stuff and I was like, oh my gosh, me too. And that's literally how I fell into it. So
I love that so much. So, had you been a big writer before that?
no, I'm a huge reader though. Like, I've been
Mhm.
reading since I was like 12, like sneaking Harlequins, for my, under the bed flashlight at night. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Who introduced you to your first romance novel?
I don't know, like, I don't know authors from back then. It was just like whatever I could get my hands on, like, just, the little Harlequins. My mom
Hmm.
had like these little box sets and she used to hide them in our living room. It had like this like little tablecloth thing over it. And I would just sneak in there, but I don't remember author names.
Oh, that's fine. So, your mom was sort of the influence on getting you
Oh,
into the reading.
hugely. Yeah. She used
Yeah.
to take me and my sister. I'm from Orlando, Florida, and she used to take us every Saturday and we would check out the Max books and read them all. Like we were both huge readers. So
Oh my gosh, I love that. And especially like getting to share that with your sister too.
she's a huge reader too. So yeah, still.
Do you does she read your books now?
She does. Actually, she's my part-time virtual assistant as well. She's awesome.
I love that so much. It's a family
Yeah.
business.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what inspired you to write romantic suspense, because going from Devil Wears Prada or Weisbringer to something more action packed, like that evolution had to be sort of an up and down for you.
Well, I'm trying to think of who I fell into reading. Linda Howard was one of them. Um, I just started reading everything I could get my hands on in suspense.
Hmm.
Oh, and Roxanne St. Clair. I don't know if she writes romantic suspense anymore, but back then I know she definitely did.
Yeah,
Um, the Troubleshooters, I think it was. So yeah, I just read everything I could get my hands on, and suspense is what kept like pulling me,
pulling you
to
back.
it.
Yeah.
So
Did you kind of like have challenges figuring out that your voice matched into that genre, or was it just sort of like a natural fit from the get-go?
finding my voice took probably like 5 books. Like it was, like
Yeah,
that's
tell us
just
about that.
I don't know. Yeah, it took a while to really get to where I was comfortable, and I can look back at in some of my earlier books, and I can see that I still hadn't figured out my voice then, but I'm pretty secure in it now.
So I love that. So I noticed in your bio that you have a psychology degree. So I'm curious to know, how does your degree help with your writing?
Um, so the degree I got is because it was like my third or fourth time switching
Hmm.
majors, and my parents paid for my college, and they were like, "You have to pick
You have to pick
something." I had
something.
done education, business, and something else, and I kept switching, and it took me a little while to graduate. Um, and I'm fascinated with people and what makes them tick. So, I mean,
Mhm.
obviously that definitely plays into it, but I got the degree because I had to get a degree. So,
Awesome. But do you use it at all in
I
your
do.
in your writing?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about how, or tell us about the how the Hitman Stole Christmas. This is your newest romance or your newest holiday romance, and it's also the start of a new series.
It is, yes. In Protecting Rebel, the potentially the last book in my Redstone Security series, I'm not sure. I introduced this character, Elliana, and she was such a weirdo. She is such a weirdo. And my critique partner was like, "You really need to write her story."
Give her her
And I was like, "You
story.
know what? I'm just going to." And so I turned off that internal editor that sometimes I let take over. I mean, if you've read it, they're both weird. Like they do not fit into like normal societal molds, and I just had fun with it. So,
Yeah. That's actually sort of the segue to my next question, which was like trying to figure out the right match for these two and the fact that they are so unique in their personalities. How did, she came to you in the first book, but how did you sort of like formulate that character of Elena?
um, oh, that's a tough question. I don't know if I know how to answer that. My characters just sort of come to me. I know that sounds like a crappy answer. I'm sorry.
No, do
I
you
wish I
hear them? Do you see like scenes that they pop into? Like
scenes. That is almost
scenes.
how all of my books start. It's like a kernel of an idea, and it was the thing with her stalking him with the drone, just watching him, and that
Mhm.
is how that was born. And it was only supposed to be like 25,000 words, and it's still a novella-ish. It's right at 40,000. It ended up being a little longer than I planned. So,
Oh my gosh. And I love the drone because I desperately want one. They're illegal in my neighborhood, so I cannot have one, which is very upsetting to
ooh,
me.
I'm sorry. I live in the country, so we have, very little regulations.
I love that. So, how do you get into the Christmas spirit when it's not Christmas time?
Oh my gosh, I love Christmas. I'm like, Buddy the Like I was listening to some of the Grinchy answers and I was like, oh, I have no answer. My son, he's 12. He's just like me. I'm at my mom's house. You can see all her fall decorations
I
behind
love
me.
it. Yeah.
But at my house, my son, he was just like, Mommy, he's like, we need to start pulling out our Christmas bedding. And I'm like, well, it hasn't even been Halloween yet. He's like, so it's our house. We can do what we want. So we
True.
did. So we've already started.
And I read a study recently that said that people who decorate early and leave their decorations up for Halloween or for Christmas are actually happier.
Oh, I love that. I think
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy. My
Yeah.
mom is too. My mom's like Buddy the Elf times, 100.
I love it. I had to get it somewhere.
Yes.
That's awesome. So, do you and your mom and your sister, do you guys swap books?
Oh, we give each other recommendations. My
Hmm.
mom definitely reads, she doesn't like spice. She loves suspense. She reads a little differently than us. But my sister and I, yes, we definitely swap. I got her reading Nalini Singh,
Awesome.
um, the Murderbot Diaries. I kept telling her for months. I was like, you've got to read. Just try All Systems Red, the first novella. And she's like, no, that sounds really dumb. I'm like, okay, well, it's not. So I went ahead and I just ordered it for her and I had it mailed like a hardcover, mailed directly. And then the next time I saw her, her husband, my brother-in-law, was like, yeah, we didn't see her for like a week. She ordered the rest of the series. It just was like, and we're both looking forward to the upcoming, oh my gosh, it's in like 2 or 3 weeks. We're both really looking forward to it. So
Oh my gosh, is that the best feeling when you know that that book is like just around the corner and you just can't wait to get your hands
yes.
on it? Yeah,
Yes.
I love it so much. So let's see. What can readers expect from you next?
Um, in 2024, I'm launching a spinoff to my Redemption Harbor series. It's called Redemption Harbor Security. So that is, I'm trying to think. I know it's January, March, and May, I think. I can't remember the exact dates. And I haven't announced this yet. I don't know if I'm supposed to, but I'm going to anyways. My agent just sold the audio rights to that. And
Congrats.
I'm so excited because
That's awesome.
I've put out a lot of my own and it's exhausting. And I'm sort of this year, I'm dialing back for this year, next year on things I'm doing. So not to have to worry about production at all is really nice.
That's awesome.
So,
Are you going to still get
oh,
to maybe have a thumbs up and thumbs down to the voice?
I hope so. I've worked with different production companies in the past, and I always ask.
Mhm.
So I'm really hopeful that I will.
Awesome. Well,
So,
that's great. Well, congratulations. And that's a good introduction to your year of letting go.
yes.
Well, Katie, we're going to transition now into our fresh facts section of questions. These are just sort of like fun, light questions to answer. And then we also have some special Christmas ones that we're going to go through as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so what is your favorite genre to read?
Paranormal, romance, all romance. I feel like that goes without saying, but yeah, paranormal, sort of sci-fi.
Awesome. And then what is one genre that you never want to read again?
Oh, this feels mean. I don't know.
It's okay, we won't
Hmm.
tell them.
I'm like, It's not that I don't want to read it again. YA isn't really like something, I read some, but it's probably like my least favorite of everything else.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's not as much, it's only smooching, not as much other fun stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand why. And it just, I'd rather read about, I'm in my 40s. I'd rather read about people a little bit older who have life
Mhm.
experience.
Exactly. Who have relationships. It's nice.
Yes.
What is your favorite trope to read?
Oh, okay. To read, I love I love friends to lovers. I love enemies to lovers. I can't pick just one. I'm trying to think. I love it. I love second chance. Like that's one of my huge tropes in a lot of my books. Second chance is that's one of my favorites.
Awesome. I love that. Okay, so what is your favorite time of day to write?
What do you mean? Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, what time of day do you like to write? Do you like to get up in the
Oh,
morning
time of
and
day. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Okay, I did not hear. I was okay.
You're
I
like,
thought you said
ooh,
something else.
yeah,
Um,
time.
I between 8 and 3 because that's when my kid is at school. So I
That's fair.
honestly, as soon as he's gone, that is when I am writing. I prefer it early morning because if I can get in 2 or 3 thousand words a day, then I can do all the admin stuff afterwards. So,
Absolutely. Okay, so then to switch that question, what is your favorite time of day to read?
oh, nighttime, like curled up in bed. I'm at my mom's house right now, but I have two very, very loud dogs and a needy child and a needy husband. So nighttime, we all sort of like, pile in the bed or we pile on the couch and most of us, except the dogs, are reading.
I love it so much. The dogs are like, we're still reading too. We're just reading in our
Yeah.
minds.
Piper, she sits next to me. I don't know if you guys follow me on social media. She's my golden doodle, and she's
Oh,
always, always up. I swear. Whatever I'm
your little
doing, she
twin.
wants to see. Yes.
I
Yes.
love that. My we have like a cattle dog and she is my husband's shadow.
Aw, our lab. That's my husband's shadow.
Oh,
Yeah.
so funny. What is one new hobby or practice that you've picked up recently?
Quilting, I got into, what
Oh.
is it, 2 years ago, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it was just supposed to, I was going through this thing when I had turned 40, I was like, I want to try something new every month. So I signed up for a quilting class, and I had done a couple things before that. I had learned to make stained glass, which was really cool, but it was really messy. And I was like, all right, this is fun, but I think I'm done. And I did something else, which I can't think of right now. And then the third thing was quilting, and then I just became obsessed.
You
So.
got into it. I love it. Now, would you ever put quilting into your stories?
Um, yes. Okay, my kid, he wants me to write this story. And I
Hmm.
have a little notebook of notes, where the murder starts in a quilt shop. And like there's blood on all this new fabric and one day.
I love
Like
it.
a cozy mystery. Yeah.
I can see it. I think it sounds great.
One day.
So, what is one luxury item or unnecessary product that you cannot live without?
Oh, oh my gosh, that's a tough one. Hmm. I don't know. My quilting fabric is luxury and unnecessary. I don't know if that counts.
But it
Like it would
also,
be so much cheaper just to buy a blanket or a quilt. It's ridiculous how much fabric is. So
that's
I don't know
actually
if that
very true. I was gonna say, but it keeps you warm. But to your point, yeah,
it's
you could
true.
probably just get a
It's
piece
so
of fabric cut.
expensive.
Are you a pantser or are you a plotter?
I plot very heavily. And then
Mm.
even I didn't when I first started, I was, by the seat of my pants and I can see a huge difference
Mhm.
from when I don't thoroughly plot. It just takes me so much longer. So I'd rather spend more time plotting and that way when I'm actually writing, I don't get stuck.
Yeah, you have like that. You have that map to lead you on the way.
Yes.
Yeah. What is some advice that you would give to your younger self?
Oh, hmm. Like my younger writer self.
Sure.
Um, I would say be kinder to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah, that's great advice. We can all use that advice too.
Yeah.
If you could collaborate with one writer, who would your dream writer collaboration be with?
Dare word. But I mean, that would never happen. Oh,
It could.
or Nora Roberts, as JD Robb. But yeah, that's like dream crazy level.
I love that. Okay, so then a spin-off question of that, what would be two writers you'd love to see write together?
Oh, okay. Nalini Singh and
Hmm.
J.R. Ward. I
Love
think they're
it.
both amazing. I would love to sort of, and they have these big epic worlds.
Hmm.
I would love for them to create something together. Yeah, that'd be cool.
We'll put that out there, guys. Our lips to God's ears on that one.
Out into the universe. Let's do it.
Exactly. So when you write, do you keep music on or do you like it to be silent?
Both.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll play, and if my family is in the house, I have to like shut my office door and turn on a noise machine because it drives them crazy. I'll listen to like the same song over and over.
Mm.
And then other times just nothing, just silence.
I completely understand that listening to the same song. Sometimes you just get caught in
Yeah.
there and then there's like a world that builds with it.
It's like yeah, the emotion. It's the
Mhm.
vibes. Yes.
Mhm. Absolutely. Do you ever make playlists for any of your books?
No. No, my best friend and critique partner, even though she's off for the year 'cause she's getting her master's, she made me a couple like years ago. This is like probably a decade ago, and I still have them, my little burn CDs
I
for her.
love that so much. What is the best book that you've read recently?
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think. I just finished a trilogy, and I know that they have been around forever, so I'm not saying I discovered them, but for me, I recently discovered them.
Mhm.
Bob Mayer and I don't know if it's Cruzy or Cruz. Jennifer Cruzy. I think I might be
Cruising.
saying it right.
Hmm.
Yes. Okay. I discovered Agnes and the Hitman. I think it pops up in my feed because I just put out a Hitman book and I was like, okay, this looks good. So I read it and it was hilarious. And then so I discovered a trilogy they just put out, Lavender's Blue, Rust in Pink, and then one in Vermilion. And it was just fun. It was a really just fun, entertaining trilogy. I really, really enjoyed it.
I love that. So when you're writing, can you read it within your genre or do you like to switch and do something completely different?
Um, uh, when I'm writing paranormal, I don't mind reading paranormal because
Hmm.
the worlds like J.R. Ward or
Yeah.
Nalini Singh. They're just so unique. I'm not worried about sort of picking anything up. As far as suspense, it really depends.
Yeah.
I tend not to read too much suspense if I'm really deep into a suspense series.
Awesome. Do you like switch hats in the sense of like are you writing one genre at a time or do you write multiple books at the same time?
Oh no, one book at a time.
One book at a
Yeah,
time.
I could not. No.
It would
Yeah,
be
my
so hard.
brain
Be
does
like
not work like that. Yeah.
too many hats.
Yes.
What book world, yours or another author's, would you want to step into? Now you have to decide between JR and Nalini.
No. The Psy Changeling one. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes, for sure.
So tell us a little bit about your writing day.
Oh, I mean, they're boring, but
Never. They're so interesting.
well, I live in the country. It's me and the dogs usually. Like, there's not a lot. My mom lives next door. Um, I get up early. I get my son ready for school. He has ADHD and he is so distractible. Just it's like a process every morning. So as soon my
Mhm.
mom takes him to school most mornings. So as soon as he's out the door, I try and get in and I try and get in 2000. That's my goal. If I get more than that, it's just like icing. Um, and then just admin stuff. Like right now, I was gonna announce this earlier. I'm just gonna say it. So I just got the rights back to my Moonshifter series from like a
Awesome.
decade ago. So this whole week and actually the last 2 weeks, I've been working on editing and rewriting because it was so long ago. So if I have like really hardcore admin stuff, that's what I work on the rest of the day.
Yeah, there's so many opportunities on the pipeline, especially. What is the most terrible movie you legitimately enjoyed?
Oh, enjoyed. Okay, I thought you were going
Mhm.
to say a terrible movie, and I knew what I was going to
No,
say.
I want to know.
Oh, that I enjoyed. Okay, I don't know. Napoleon Dynamite, I remember being really ridiculous, and I still quote it to this day. It's so funny. Like,
That's
oh,
a
I don't
great.
know if it was terrible or just.
That's great. I love it. What is the clothing or accessory everyone hates but you secretly love?
No. I don't know. I can't think of anything.
I
That's a
recently
good question,
rediscovered
though.
little what are those butterfly clips? I'm like a new
Oh,
convert
I
back
have
to
one of
those
those
things.
every night. I when I'm, wash my face. Yeah, I love
Smart.
mine.
Keep that curl safe. Smart lady.
Yes.
All right, so this is another silly question. What do you own a ridiculous amount of?
Oh, books.
I
I mean, like it's insane how many
don't think
books
that's
I have.
ridiculous.
Okay. I don't either.
Do you like to have physical books or do you prefer audio ebook? How do you like to read at this point?
Oh, it's funny. I don't. The last 2 years, I've been collecting print books. We had to buy a bunch
Nice.
more bookshelves, and my husband's like, you can get rid of some, and I'm like, no, no, I can't.
They're my
Um,
friends.
yes, exactly. They're my friends. I love. Oh, I can't pick. That's a really tough choice. Because I still read a ton of ebooks. I've always got my Kindle or my Kobo. I have a new Kobo I got this year, which I
Mhm.
love. It's the Clara 2, I think it's called. All I know is it's waterproof and it's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
And then
perfect.
I'm always listening to an audiobook. So,
Awesome.
like, I sort
Do
of
you
just, when one's done, I'm starting another.
start another one? Do you ever do podcasts or is it strictly audiobooks?
No, but I feel like I need to get into podcasts. So
Maybe. I don't
I've heard
know.
about some interesting ones. So,
Yeah. Awesome. They're definitely helpful for research, I feel.
okay. Do you have any you would recommend?
Oh boy. I love Crime Junkies. I think that that's an excellent one.
Junkies? Okay.
Yeah, Crime Junkies is the name of it. Yeah, I think that one actually will be a good starter point for you. They've got
Okay,
lots of
good.
little
I'll look
stories.
it up tomorrow.
Excellent. All righty, so let's see. So you already told us what you read recently that you liked. What are you watching or listening to right now that you want to recommend?
I just, as in like an hour ago, I finished listening to it's Molly Harper and Amanda Ronconi is yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, I see you shaking your head. Yes. Oh my gosh, right? I love her narration. I just listened to Big Witch Energy and I'm ready for the next one, but I think it comes out in 2024, so I'm a
Oh,
little sad.
yeah. All right, so here are our Christmas questions before I open the floor up to our readers to ask some follow-up questions off camera. What is your favorite holiday tradition?
Oh, my we make my grandma, I mean, she died when I think I was 8 or 9. But we make it's her recipe. It's these molasses cookies.
Oh,
We make them and we make the icing, everything from scratch. And my mom has gotten now, the grandkids doing it as well. So that's definitely my favorite.
I love that, getting to share it
Yeah, it's
generation to
like a little cookie
generation.
production. It's like around the table, and the husbands get into it too. It's see who can make the coolest cookie. Mine are always
Mhm.
terrible, but they taste the same as mine.
As long as they taste good, that's all that matters, really.
Icing, yeah.
Yeah. What is the best gift you ever gave to somebody?
Oh, well, that's a really tough one. I like to lay under my Christmas tree and tell my family, "You're welcome." I'm
That's
trying to
it.
think of something real.
That's perfect.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm gonna put a pin in that one and maybe go
Okay.
back to it because I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. Okay, so what is your favorite piece of holiday pop culture? It could be like a book, a movie, like a
Oh
song.
my gosh, the holiday armadillo.
What's the
The
holiday
call
armadillo?
from Friends?
Oh, yes,
Yes. Okay, I
obviously.
was like, oh yes, it's the holiday. Oh, I'll do the whole thing. Yes. I let my son, we're letting him starting to watch some Friends now.
Mhm.
Some are still too inappropriate, but yeah, the holiday armadillo is the best.
That's perfect. Oh my God, I love it so much. I keep thinking also of I can't remember if it was Matt LeBlanc who had the turkey on his head.
I have a t-shirt. I should have worn it with the Thanksgiving turkey.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I love it so much. All right, what is one thing about the holidays that you cannot live without?
Ooh. Um, Christmas music? I don't know. That's I've already got it playing. It's embarrassing.
It's perfect. It's the first. It counts. It's fine.
That's true. I skip right over Thanksgiving. I don't care.
Exactly. It's fine. All right. So this is a really controversial question, depending on people's opinions. But do you prefer a
Okay.
real tree or a fake tree?
Oh, a fake tree for our house because our dogs are insane.
Hmm.
Um, I don't care though. Like I like them both. Like my sister's family, she always gets a real one and I love it. I love the way it smells. But I like not having to clean up anything.
Yeah.
So, those little
Those needles get everywhere. And especially
so
when you have a pet, they'll just eat them up too.
Yeah, our lab. The golden doodle Piper. I'm not really worried about her, but Jack, he's a wild dog.
Yeah,
So I think
he's
it's
a
gonna be
lab.
fun.
He's trying.
Yeah, he's so smart too. But then sometimes I'm just like, you have rocks in your head. It's weird. Really smart about some things, but so yeah.
All right, so let's see. Are you a fan of fruitcake? Yes or no?
Randomly, I've had yes, I've had really good fruitcake. I think it gets a bad rap.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think when you've had good fruitcake, it'll make a big difference, honestly. Yeah, so
Yes.
yeah, totally agree with you on that. All right, well, before I open this up to the floor, I have one last question for you about Christmas. Um, do you do Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve or Christmas morning?
We do both. We
Oh,
do it. Yes. So my husband's family, they grew up doing everything on Christmas Eve. So we combined it. We do one or two special gifts. My son wants to do all of them on Christmas Eve. And then, Christmas morning. It's like the big. So,
I love that. Well, Katie, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Before we say goodbye, could you tell our readers where they can find out more about you and stay in touch with you?
my website is pretty much, where you can find out anything about my books. I'm on Facebook a decent amount, Instagram and TikTok.
Excellent. Wonderful. Well, Katie, thank you so much. And she's going to stick around to take a couple of questions from our audience.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.